Family, this is the conversation that a lot of you have been waiting on. Updates from my surgery. Before we get into it, this whole entire video will be rated M for mature audiences only. So I'm going to give those of you time, to skedaddle. This conversation will not be for you. Daym, how come we couldn't have known sooner about what you're winning the surgery for? Well, two things. One, everybody talks about everything in their time, right? Being the fact my post-op for my surgery is tomorrow, I can now speak about it. And that's what I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait my 6 weeks. No, I did not get a gastric sleeve, gastric bypass, nothing of that nature. No, I did not get knee surgery, nothing of that nature. But your boy, I got the Superman. Dang, what's the Superman? Well, for those of you that have been following me for a long time and you have watched all or even some of my health updates, there was one particular video. And a lot of my foodie fam, they're already on it. I saw you guys in the comment section. You knew exactly what I went in for. You knew exactly what I went in for. Salute to every last one of you, because that means your foodie fam that been rocking out the long way. And you make sure that you're tuned in to all of my videos. So love and respect. ED, y'all. Erectile dysfunction. I don't have a problem talking about anything in my life whatsoever. And I did a video that was called Living with ED. I broke everything down in that video, just like I'm going to break everything down and hopefully answer some of the questions that my kings out there may have when it comes to the penile prosthetic. Yes, the implant, baby. This is for individuals living with ED. This is when you go to your doctor, fellas, and a lot of you have strong egos about you. Trust me, I was one of the individuals. Not a lot of men want to admit the fact that they cannot be sexually active, regardless what they do. It happens for various reasons. It's diabetes. It happens old age. It happens because you're just not really in the mood, though you may think that you are. There's a multitude of reasons why you cannot perform sexually. So you go to your doctor. Doc, what do you have for me? I need to get back right. I need to get back to myself. Doc is like, listen, let's start with pills. So doctor, he'll start you off with Viagra or something similar to it in hopes that will help. And maybe in the beginning it does help. But then maybe after that, your body just kind of gets acclimated to it and it's no longer helping. You find yourself not showing up to the occasion when you would love to show up to the occasion. And you can't. And you can't. That does a lot to a man mentally. I'm going to tell you right now, it did a lot to me mentally when there were just a whole lot of times your boy I couldn't rock out. I could do everything else. Show up to the party. Make sure everybody's having a good time up off in the party, right? But when it came time for me and my boy to be at attention, like, hey, we in the building, we ready to get busy, there's nothing I can do. Bet. So now, Viagra is no longer working. What next, Doc? Well, we can always go ahead with the penis injections. Ouch. Doc, I don't even do drugs. You want me to start injecting myself? Come on, Doc. Why are we playing those games? And you want me to inject my boy? The most sensitive of areas. It's one thing when you're injecting your arm or if you're injecting your stomach, for diabetics, right? It's another thing when you're injecting your boy. Doc. He's like, hey, you want to be sexually active, right? Yeah. Inject yourself. All right, bet. So now, y'all, I'm injecting the boy. I'm injecting my business. Maybe I was injecting myself wrong because it hurt. And those little injections right there, it is not for me. I'm going to tell you right now, it is not for me. It might be for you fellas, in all respect if it is, but it was not for me. Couldn't get down, couldn't get busy with it. Doc, what else do you have for me? He was like, well, remember when we were talking about surgery? The prosthetic penis? Yeah. The cylinder. Oh, yeah. He was like, we can always do surgery. If that's my only option left, yeah. And I know there's pumps out there that fellas can take to see if we can go ahead and pump up the business and get you rocking, but excuse me, wasn't for me. And so when I first went to get the surgery done, that's when my A1C was out the roof. If it's too high, they will not do the surgery, fellas. You have to be 7 and below on your A1C in order for them to approve that surgery. If you're up there, they won't do it. There could be possible complications. Doctors do not want that business. They want to make sure that you stay safe. They want to make sure that there's no type of wild infections because your A1C is crazy, or a rejection of the surgery altogether because your A1C is crazy. So it took me a while, y'all. It took me over a year and a half just to get my numbers back to where they are now, currently, and to get approved for the surgery. All right, now let's get into the surgery. So at the time, I was with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And you got to go through a whole process with your insurance company, especially when it comes time to get your boy manufactured. You have to go through a whole entire process, and you got to make sure that there's no kind of exceptions, exclusions, this, that, and the third. And Blue Cross Blue Shield was like, he's A-okay. He's good to go. So I remember leaving a week before the surgery was supposed to take place, right? I remember leaving to Miami on a fella's trip. And 2 days into being in Miami, I get a phone call from the scheduler who said that the insurance denied my surgery that I was supposed to get when I got back from vacation. I was looking forward to the surgery at this point, y'all. I'm like, oh man, they did? What's going on? They're like, don't worry, we're trying to do an appeal, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my goodness. So Blue Cross Blue Shield gave me zero love on my surgery when it came time to get my boy manufactured. Again, that's another blow to the ego piece. That's another blow. Like, you've been waiting this long. You've done everything that you needed to do to get your A1C down. Because even when A1C came down, I still wasn't performing at normal. They're like, you know what I'm saying, Daym, how about you just get your numbers in check? Just eat a little bit differently and your boy will come back. No, he didn't come back nowhere, right? All right, bet. What do we do now? Well, shortly thereafter, wifey ended up changing from Blue Cross Blue Shield over to Cigna. When she did that, I just kind of reapplied to get the surgery done. Cigna, the green light again. I didn't get excited this time, but they gave the green light. But I didn't get excited because I got excited with Blue Cross Blue Shield, didn't want the disappointment. I needed to ride this one all the way until surgery day. I had to ride this one out. Then surgery day came. Fellas, I hope you're ready for this next part. Surgery day came, and I was scheduled to go into the hospital, y'all, I was supposed to be there for 5:30. I get there about 4:52 a.m. Nervous. Heart on, do. The heart was going crazy. I'm there with the wife and our daughter early in the morning. I'm in the admission part where you had to sit and speak with the lady behind the desk. She was the only person there. She broke down how long I'd be in surgery for. She just said 3 hours. I didn't think it was going to take that long, but she said 3 hours. And then she said, we're going to keep you overnight just to watch you to make sure that everything goes well with your surgery. I was like, all right, no problem. And now I'm just kind of signing my life away. And now it's real. Now that green light that Cigna gave me, the thumbs up, your boy is like, yes, thank you, Cigna. Shout out to Cigna. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of the people. So now it's time to get me ready, right? I get my robe on. They take me to the back room. I get the robe on, little hospital socks, little booty cheeks are hanging out in the back of the gown. Wifey sitting to the right of me. Our daughter sitting next to her on the phone, more than likely on TikTok. And nurses are coming in. And the doctor finally arrives and like, Daym, you ready? I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing really prepares you for the surgery, fellas, when it's time to get your boy manufactured. Nothing mentally preps you for that. All you know is when it's all said and done, well, we're going to discuss that momentarily too. So now I'm going in. They're wheeling me down the hallway. And, if certain hospitals that you go to, there's things all in the hallway, other beds in the hallway, people passing. Sometimes the hospital hallways are small. And I had, just a tiny person actually just, and when I say tiny person, I just mean she was a shorter woman actually, just pushing me down the hallway. And I'm like, oh man, I hope she doesn't destroy my feet because they're hanging off the bed. They don't make them for 6'6" brothers out there, you know what I'm saying? But we get into the operating room and I saw the operating table, family, and I'm looking over the table and the table was floss. It was floss. It was this. This was the operating table. I was like, hold on, let me show you a little bit closer. I'm a big brother. You gonna roll me off of my current bed onto an operating table that can't really hold me? Now what if I fall on the table? What if the operation goes wrong? Surgery goes wrong? What am I gonna do? They're like, all right, Mr. Patterson, we are now gonna roll you over onto the cold operating table. They rolled me over. I swear both butt cheeks was hanging off the side of the operating table. I'm a big brother. That's a small little table. Doesn't matter. My doctor's over there cracking jokes. Anesthesia dude come in, talks to me a little bit. Doc's like, hey, listen, you're gonna feel just like maybe a little slight discomfort in your hand because that's where they had the IV. And we're gonna pump the fluid in. And then you're going to be out like a light. You won't remember anything. You will wake up a little groggy. Your throat's going to be a little sore from the breathing tube, but you're going to be okay. Okay, that's what I remember him saying. I remember a nurse comes over. I remember her holding my arm, and she was like, now I need for you to breathe deeply 3 times. That's it. Just breathe. I kid y'all not, by the second, gone. Your boy was gone. I was out. I was out like a light, family. I was one and done. It was a wrap-a-roni. I was done. And when I wake up, I think you guys actually remember because I still did a food review with the scratchy throat piece from the hospital. Breathing tube is out. I'm feeling pressure on my boy, and I didn't want to look. I didn't want to look down at it, see what it was. And I looked, and I had the mummy wrap. It was this thick bandages just all over my boy. And I remember my legs had like compressions on the leg to keep the blood flow maintained in the leg to kind of stop from swelling of the feet. I remember that laying in the bed and just kind of being out of it and it taking me a minute just to get all of the fluids that were in me, just the anesthesia that was in me, just to have that flushed out and to get back to a quote unquote normal feeling. And the catheter, that was something else. I'm like, eventually the catheter has to come out. Is that going to hurt? I never had a catheter inside my boy before. Like, is that going to hurt when they got to take it out? Ugh. There are like so many things run through your mind and you just want to know how the operation went. That's it. You want to know how the operation went, family. And you're waiting to hear back from your doctor. And then they come in and they're like, oh, everything went great. No complications whatsoever. In and out, boom, boom. We'll give you next steps. We'll be in contact with you. Just relax, rest, and we'll be back. I remember I couldn't leave until I peed. I couldn't leave the hospital until I peed. And when it was time to get that catheter pulled out, y'all, I remember it like it was yesterday. My nurse, she was amazing. So she comes over, she's like, hey, it's time to remove your catheters. It's the following day. And I'm like, oh, man. She's like, don't worry about it. No pain at all. You'll be just fine. No pain at all. Woman, no, woman, no. It's my boy. It's my business. He just got finished getting manufactured. I just got finished getting the Superman. We're going to talk about why I call it Superman. I just got finished getting the Superman. She was like, I need you to breathe. Is this hospital always focused on breathing? They told me the same thing when it was time for me to go night-night. Just breathe deep, Daym. By your third breath, I'm pulling this thing out. Pulling it out? What you talking about, Willis? I breathe. Nervous. Nervous. She said, on this last one, Daym, I'm yanking. Just deep. She pulls it out. And she was right. There was no pain, but you feel it coming out. You feel like a little bit of pressure coming out. And you don't have to pee right away or anything like that because you're still scared. You're still nervous to urinate, fellas. It's going to happen. Your mind is going to be messing with you the best way it can because all this is brand new to you. All of it is brand new to you. She was like, how was that? I was like, I'm here. I'm fine. I'm good. She's like, all right. Well, she was like, just remember, you can't leave today until you pee. You want some water? Yes, please bring me some water. All right. So she brought me water. I'm drinking the water, but nothing. She did this and was doing this, bringing me water from like 9:45 in the morning until I finally peed, which was probably like closer to 4 in the afternoon. Fine. Let me tell you something. Nerve blockers, family. I had so many nerve blockers in my system to help alleviate the pain, just so you don't feel anything. And doc was like, listen, Advil, Tylenol, you'll be taking those. You're going to need those. You're going to have slight discomfort at night trying to sleep. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, I was fine for 48 hours. I was like, Advil? Who needs Advil? Tylenol? Who needs Tylenol? I'm good. I'm Superman now, baby. I'm good. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing. I don't know what everybody else, other fellas go through. I don't go through nothing. Day 3, gotta get the ice pack. Yeah, mama, let me get the ice pack. Let me get the ice pack. Let me get 2 Advil. Let me get 2 of them things. Because let me tell you, while you're icing your boy, the bat and the balls, while you're icing all that because it's all swole, whoo, is it swole? When those nerve blockers wear off, it is something ferocious when them nerve blockers wear off, family. Whew, okay. I got through it. I'm kidding you not, fellas. The doctor says you're going to need about 6 weeks of recovery. Tomorrow is the official day of my 6 weeks of recovery. A strong 4 weeks before you start feeling as if it doesn't hurt as much, not as uncomfortable to shower, you know what I'm saying, to clean up, to get yourself all the way together, to not have to rock so and rely so heavy on Advil and or Tylenol. It took me a solid 4 weeks. By the 5th week, I'm like, okay, I'm moving about a little more easier. These showers are getting a little more easier. I'm not as swollen. The boy is looking better. The boy looked good before, don't get me wrong, but the boy looking better. Fellas, what you're going to hear from other men who have had this surgery, the Superman, is that if you're used to a particular length, after the surgery, you're not as long, you're not as strong. Tissue rebuilding. You're going to be going through something called cycling. Once it's all said and done, your doctor's going to like, all right, we're going to do the cycle. And now it's time to explain to you exactly how all of this works. It only took about 18 minutes. But I needed to give you the preface, the beginning of all this madness. Let's get into it. Daym, for those who have no idea what's going on, I need to give you visuals. And I'm sorry, I do not have the actual miniature pump that's inside of the scrotum. But what I do have, we're going to take this real quick. And we're going to take a little McNiggy. Okay, go. All right, look. This is there. Yeah, this is a little bit larger, which is the pouch that's inside of your abdomen. The pouch. Keep the pouch in mind, all right? A little McNiggy. This is the ball, because it's round, but not like a cap. Just imagine another one of these, but smaller. The ball that's inside of your scrotum. So what's going to happen is you are literally going to, with one hand, kind of hold the ball sack, with the other hand, feel for the ball in your scrotum, and you're going to squeeze it once. Once you squeeze, right, it's going to trigger the pouch that's going to release the fluid out of the other tube. So imagine a tube going from the ball to the pouch that's in your abdomen, and then, of course, another tube coming out into the cylinder device inside of the penis, okay? So 3. I'm trying to do it so you can see everything here, y'all. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to improvise with McDonald's. But the last one is the actual device inside of your penis. So you're going to pump the ball, which is, of course, going to activate the liquid that's going to come from the pouch in your abdomen and go right here into the shaft. Okay? Now, as it's going into the shaft, we're going to go from a semi-raw ski, and we're slowly going to start to rise to the occasion. Boop, boop, boop. When you're ready to play. This is you ready to play. Maybe you can go here. Don't worry, you cannot overpump. Like, you're going to feel it empty out. You'll feel it. You're going to know when it's time to stop pumping the Reebok's pump. But you control your erection. You control it 100%. There is no moments anymore of can I or will I perform. It's you're always ready for every single occasion at any given time of the day. It doesn't matter the hour, it doesn't matter the moment, it doesn't matter who you're with. You are always going to be ready because you controlled it. Boop, 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 boop. You already controlled it. Now, Daym, what happens when I'm done and it's just chilling? Because that's all it's going to do. It's just going to chill. It doesn't go down like a normal erection would after that blood rush and after all the happiness done spilled over, pun intended. And then eventually it just kind of makes its way back down to normal. Your new Superman, Man of Steel, stays Superman, Man of Steel, until you go back to holding the scrotum, and now on the same ball device, the opposite end, there's like a little deflate nodule. That you have to push until your boy's back to chilling again. But until you press that, you're Superman, Man of Steel, the whole entire time. The whole entire time. Fellas, I know what you're thinking. Well, I'm never going to not press it. I'm going to just remain on rock candy. I'm going to remain on rock. I'm going to remain like this. I'm going to chill like... It's going to be discomforting after a while. Just keep in mind, your tissue is being retrained. The tissue inside of your penis is being retrained by you. This is where cycling comes in. Once you're done, however many minutes, however many hours, whatever you want to do, because now you control it, your business, handle your business. But once you're done, once you're back to regular, your doctor's going to recommend that you start cycling. And what cycling is just random times throughout the course of the day, usually for about, let's say, half hour to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, you just randomly pump this thing up. You just randomly, psst, 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 psst. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, you can't just go from here to, it doesn't work that way. It's little intervals. It's psst, 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 like it's going to take you a minute. However, cycling, that's something that you do every single day because you have to retrain the tissue inside the shaft. You have to retrain it. And it will help. It will help with, a little bit of girth activity, a little bit of, making it just a little bit longer. You're not going to go from whatever you are at erection for the first time. You're not going to go from there and grab up all these extra inches. That ain't going to happen. But while you're retraining the tissue, it is going to start to, lengthen just a little bit. Just a little bit. It might not even be noticeable to you the way it lengthens, but it is because it's being retrained. You might not even get back what you once had. You might have been a 10-incher, a 12-incher. And then you find out after surgery that, you 9.5 or you 11 and a half. And you might not get back to a full 12 Roski or a full 10 piece. You might not. Who knows? I don't know. All I'm saying, man, my phone blowing up. They must be hearing me talking and doing this to you live. All right, but all I'm saying is you are now in control of your sexual activity. You didn't have this control before. You know what I'm saying to you? You wished upon a star in hopes that you could be sexually active. And sometimes it was a hit or miss. Well, now after you get the prosthetic penis, the implant, the coloplast, the Titan, right? Now that once you get that, family, you're back in control of your life. You get to get that back. You get to get that confidence back. That's a good feeling, fellas. Okay, I actually need you. But that's a good feeling. So thank you for those of you that made it to the end of this long video. I know this was a long video. Again, I do not have any problems talking about this whatsoever. There are individuals that have been close to me that have known I went in for the Superman treatment. Daym, what's the cost, right? What's the out-of-pocket cost? Because the only way the insurance is going to cover it, something has to be wrong with you. For me, the diabetes, the me trying everything else and everything else not working, and then insurance giving me the green light. They took care of that bill. What is the cost out of pocket? Real quick, before I end the video, this surgery, from what I hear, Could be anywhere between $40,000 to $50,000. 40 to 50 grand. That's the kind of business you're walking around with after it's all said and done. There is a doctor in Virginia, because don't trust and believe, y'all. I had to look up my other options just in case insurance wasn't going to show me love. But there is a doctor in Virginia that is well known for doing a multitude of these surgeries all the time. I got to get his name again, but 20 grand. And he hit you with the lengthening piece too for like an additional 5 piece. Like this, he got some things going on over there. Crazy. So for those that have to pay out of pocket, you do have an option. You do not have to spend 40 or 50 grand. You can find this doctor and get it for almost half the cost, right? So, but at the end of the day, just to get a peace of mind, to get you back to being sexually active, to get you back to, pleasing your partner or having your partner feel as if he or she actually matters in your life, because I know it wears on them as well when they've done everything possible to get your attention and get you at attention. And your boy's like, nah, chill. I'm going to just remain out flaccid and I'm not doing anything and I'm not going anywhere. So that does mess with you after a while. But if you want to get that confidence back, this is an option. So yes, I am now Daym Drops, AKA Superman. Crazy. I'll see you next video, baby.